Hello again my friends, this is Boy Needs Dog and welcome to the channel where I talk about, play, rank and review games on the Evercade old and new. In today's episode we will be digging into the 16th Evercade arcade cart, Neo Geo Arcade 1, proper like, with my review of the cart and ranking of the 6 games therein. The Neo Geo was first released in Japan in 1990 in two models, the arcade MVS multiple video system and the console AES advanced entertainment system. The AES, though expensive for consumers, have arcade perfect titles to play at home. One of the other only main differences being the AES could only use one cartridge at a time, while the MVS could hold 6. Because of the interchangeable cartridge nature of the MVS units, allowing the arcades always to be up to date, meant arcade system had such longevity it lasted until 2004. Winning an entry in the Guinness Book of Records for the longest support of a single arcade system. Nice. Right, now please note these rankings are for fun and just my opinion, meaning the most technically impressive may not be at the top of my list. You know what I'm like. This is merely a springboard to find out what you guys think. So what do you think trailed at the bottom and who jumped to the top of the list? Only one way to find out. Let's take a look. Number 6. In 6th place is Magician Lord, a 1 to 2 player alternating action platform game developed by Alpha Denshi, I think I pronounced that correct, sorry if I haven't, and originally released for the arcades in 1990. The Magician Lord sealed away Go Ajizi? God, why do they always have weird names? Within 8 magical tomes. Now, hundreds of years later, Go Ajizi has broken free and the tomes have gone missing. It's up to Elta, the last descendant of the Magician Lord, to find the 8 books and seal away Go Ajizi once more. Go Ajizi. But this time forever. This game does have a lot going for it. I love the aesthetics on the whole. The enemy and boss design is wacky and cool, as are the different characters you can turn into. Speaking of which, there are 3 elements you can collect: wind, water and fire. And depending on the different combinations, you acquire a new look and abilities. 2 fire elements turns you into a dragon with fire breath. 2 water turns you into Poseidon, who attacks with pillars of water. 2 wind turns you into Raging. Wind and fire turn you into Waterman. Fire and wind turn you into a cool shinobi, and finally wind and water turn you into a samurai. The levels are interesting, with doors you can enter that can obtain cool items or a tricky battle or two. But do you know what? Saying all that, I actually can't stand this game. I mean, I tried. Everything looks and sounds cool, but the way the enemies are placed and spawn just makes this too frustrating for me. Every time I think, oh no, it's getting cool, it just becomes frustrating again. And with these terribly placed enemies, it could be because I'm rubbish and I'll accept that. But I normally can't on by now. Normally I work out a game. With this I just can't. And I'm glad I don't have to return to it, to be honest. And I'm a bit gutted because everything about it is cool. I just find it really, really bloody annoying. I'm sure I'm on my own with this. Number 5. And at number 5 is the King of Fighters 2000, a 1v1 team brawler developed by SNK and released in the arcades in 20,000. 20,000? 2000, oh my god, the future. Right off the bat there are a ridiculous amount of characters to choose from, as you can plainly see, well over 30 I think. They split into their own teams, example the Fatal Fury team, the Art Fighting team. I've actually heard of them, they're in their own games, aren't they? The locations and character models all look gorgeous with great animation throughout, it must be said. Each fighting arena and fighter themselves all look distinct from each other. In this game you don't choose one fighter to go into the tournament, you choose from a team of 4. And it doesn't have to be all characters in a specific set, you can call on characters from any team to create your own. 3 fight in the match, with the 4th being a striker, which themselves can be swapped out for a guest striker. Strikers don't participate in matches like the rest of the team, but can be called upon, what's wrong with my mouth today, called upon to fly in and add a bit more damage or get you out of a last minute from a devastating attack. The way it works, you pick your first fighter. If you win the match, your character stays on while the other team has to pick one of their remaining members. You won't have full health again though, you've got to remember that. This goes on until only one team is left standing. Got all that so far? Right. Next is the power bar. Fill it up by landing normal attacks, and you can unlock the ability to do special and super special attacks. If you fill up 3 bars, you can also enter one of two modes depending on the combination of buttons. There's a counter mode and armor mode. In counter mode you can do unlimited super special moves, and in armor mode you can attack even when taking damage. Nice. The game goes one step further. If a team defeats you and you have to use a continue, it will give you several options to make the rematch tipped more in your favour. Like for example, the opposing team all start with a quarter of their usual health, or your team has 3 power bars filled from the start. This is a great addition and an incentive to jump back in and show that arsehole team who's really boss. Or like me, fail again even when they started with quarter health. Overall, this is a solid, gorgeous looking fighter that of course plays best on the Alpha, or if you have an arcade stick for your VS. Thankfully the entire roster of characters moves are in the instruction manual, which helps. I'm still rubbish at pulling them off, but I feel I am getting better over time. This is an awesome 2-player offering too, giving much more options to fight to make each battle interesting and fun. Turn the tide with its many gimmicks. And let's be honest, you've got enough characters to learn to keep you coming back for a long time if you dig the game. So yeah, don't be fooled just because this game is in second to last. There are only 6 games after all. I just had more fun with the rest. And one I feel is a mess of a game and bonkers enough to be a guilty pleasure is above this. Speaking of which, number 4. And at number 4, it's my guilty pleasure. Oh my god. Sengoku. Is that how you pronounce it? I don't know anymore with these names. A scrolling beat 'em up developed by SNK and originally released for the arcades in 1991. Just look at it. I will revert back to my opening statement for this game in the initial thoughts video. Batshit insane, I think, is the best way to describe this title. This game is obviously quite rough around the edges, from the characters on screen to the locations you battle across, but even so, there is so much detail there, so many mad ideas and touches. I feel this game has soul. Speaking of spirits, see a little in there, the game appears as you normally do when you first start. Battle across the city fighting enemies, this time Washington DC. But then the game suddenly, without warning, so it seems to start wherever you start to know the plan, without warning, whisks you into the sky into a sort of spirit cloud world where they test you. Some battles you win, you unlock summons that you can call up at anywhere in battle to take your place for a limited time. Sadly, the 3 I'd already seen during my initial play are the only 3 you can unlock, but one is a dog, so you know, who cares? I've got a dog, man, I can summon when I want. After fighting off spirits, you are dumped back upon the earth to battle your way towards the demon's castle, before ever so often getting called upon again. And back up you go. And some of the spirit world battles can look pretty cool. There's one atop like hundreds of horses running close together. Another is by a lake under moonlight. Just nice little graphical touches, though a bit rough, really make this game stand out. And it's not just summons that aid you in battle, collecting colour orbs also aid. Collect 10 green orbs, the most abundant, to heal yourself. Grab a red one and it magically turns into a sword. Grab a blue orb and it turns into 2 blades, which is hella cool to fight with. Purple gets you 1 sword, but it's the most hefty and powerful. And a gold orb gives you a magical projectile, which comes in very handy. Overall, I just really dug this clumsy, rough around the edges game. Its madness is a joy to behold. I love it. Number 3. And in third place is Shock Troopers, a 1 to 2 player simultaneous top-down scrolling action game developed by Saurus and originally released for arcades in 1997. The Bloody Scorpions group have kidnapped the scientist George Diamond. Oh, they kidnapped a man, that makes a refresh. Oh wait, never mind, and his granddaughter Cecilia, in order to gain control of Alpha 301. What is Alpha 301, I hear you ask? Well, I'll tell ye, it's a potent hypnotic that can warp one's very being. Shit, I think I may have taken that one time, at 3 in the morning at a house party in this giant mansion in Brighton my friends dragged me to. That was a night. The things I've seen you wouldn't believe. Attack ships on the fire off the shoulder of Orion. I've watched sea beams glitter in the dark. Oh no. Wait, that's Blade Runner, innit? Anyway, there was a lot to love about Shock Troopers. Well, obviously, I think that is my number 3. Not only do you have a decent selection of characters to choose from, you don't have to choose just one and go in on your lone. Awesome. I mean, that is an option. But more fun is team mode, where you can choose 3 to go into battle, switching between all 3 with the Y button. Though they all share a health bar, they have their own count of special attacks. For example, one has a rocket, another a surprisingly powerful boomerang. It must be Australian. But these are just secondary weapons. Your primary can be switched out by collecting icons that occasionally appear on screen, and they cover the usual like Vulcan, Heavy and Freeway, etc. Another cool feature is you can fire in any way you want, and if you hold down fire it locks the direction you're shooting no matter which way you're moving. Another element of variety is a choice of 3 routes to the final stage, a jungle route, mountain and valley route. In the end, I love this game. An absolute blast to play with enough variety on how to tackle the game to keep you coming back if you dig it. And boy did I dig it. Number 2. And in second place is Ironclad, a 1 to 2 player simultaneous scrolling shoot 'em up developed by Saurus, I don't know. I'm giving up on names now at this point. And originally released on the Neo Geo CD in 1996. This game initially won me over with its presentation. I love the pre-rendered style backgrounds reminiscent of early Resident Evil titles that gives the world detail and depth, a sense of 3D-ness that really add to the atmosphere. At the start you're presented with 3 different ships, and beyond that, which of 2 variations of the first stage to fight through. At the end of each stage you are presented with a choice of where to go next. This culminates in 1 of 3 final stages and a separate ending depending on which one you finally face. Within each stage there is even a bit of story to propel you forward, even if it's a little bit bonkers. There's a great assortment of interesting locations to go through, meaning it's worth multiple plays to see it all. The amount of enemies is also decent, everything along with yourself designed to look 3D and fit perfectly into the world. Yeah, the colours all may be a bit on the duller side, with lots of browns, but I think it just lends an industrial feel to it all. The camera and force scrolling has fun pushing you along or flying up through columns or down deep pits. There's always something interesting going on. The bosses are all great, if a bit spongy, huge beasts with interesting attack patterns and behaviour to always keep you on your toes. That's the world you must battle through, so thankfully you come with a few tricks of your own up your sleeve. The Ironclad of the title is actually an attachment that you can have transfixed to the front of your ship, or send it flying off. Depending on how it's utilised and the perhaps you've obtained, you have a wealth of different attacks at your disposal. Shooting with the Ironclad attached will give you a different attack to when it's launched. Holding down fire when it's attached will power up a shot. Leave it long enough to max before letting go, and the shot to the enemy not only packs a punch, but it won't destroy a boss in one hit obviously, but it will drop medals, which you don't get normally. Apart from killing bosses actually. which you can pick up for big points. You can also use the Ironclad as a bomb, sending it towards the enemy and then letting off the bomb for maximum damage. There are power-ups to collect that increase your force attack and make your weapon stronger in general. I absolutely love this game and almost everything about it. Could it be a little less psycho at times? Probably, but I had so much fun the difficulty didn't bother me too much. Honestly, give this a bash. It's a lovely little game with its different routes, striking visuals and bonkers story. If you love shoot 'em ups, I can't see you not loving this. Number 1. And at number 1, it's got to be in it, it's all that's left. It's Metal Slug. A 1 to 2 player simultaneous scrolling platform run and gun game, developed by, is it pronounced NASCAR? Looks like NASCAR, not sure. Corporation, and originally released for the arcades in 1996. Marcus Froese and Tama Roving, if in 2 player, must battle their way through enemy territory, defeating all rebel forces, recovering or destroying all special vehicle 001 Metal Slug tanks, rescuing any prisoners of war they may find along the way. Where do you start with this game and the series as a whole? Yes, it's a fairly simple run and gun platform up, but the attention to detail packed into every screen brings this game to life. It's a wonderful world in itself to experience. From towns to snow mountains, the game never ceases to amaze. And the fact you can go through those beautiful hand-drawn styled locations and destroy the hell out of everything in sight just adds to the beauty of it all. It's like art. The game is so easy to pick up and play. It doesn't mean you won't be dying a hell of a lot as you learn the best strategy for each section, but the tools are all there from the start. From your own skills, you have a main gun with unlimited bullets, which can be swapped out for a variety of more powerful weaponry with limited bullets which revert back to your main, everything from heavy machine gun, shotgun and rocket launcher. You have a secondary throwable grenade which is limited supply but can be topped up en route. You can of course jump but also crawl, which is a great touch and handy to get under those electrified areas. You can also climb into the main title's feature, the Metal Slug. These awesome, admittedly cute tanks have fantastic destructive powers, but be warned, they can only handle so much, the same as you. You will be given a warning when you need to jump out to save yourself before they explode. It's great fun. Another cool addition are the hostages. Not only do they give you cool items if you free them by shooting their bindings and grabbing them, if you then make it to the end of the stage without popping your clogs, you'll get a bonus. This gives you great incentive to retry, but you lose it if you die, so you know. But yeah, it gives you great incentive to try and perfect each area for the highest score. To be fair, I don't think I'll need a bigger incentive beyond the gorgeousness of this world and the insane fun held within, but something extra to work towards is always cool. This game is easily my number 1. I love everything about it. It's fun, gorgeously detailed and replayable as all hell. What more do you want? Mila Dam. And my final thoughts on the collection, barring one game I really couldn't stand in the end. This is a certified bad banger and an absolute essential if you have an alpha. Huge praise. Even within its remaining 5, there's so much to enjoy. I even enjoyed the brawler. When does that happen? I went before this year not knowing much about Neo Geo, and I probably now know more than I wanted to, let's be fair. But that aside, this is just about the games. After the Super Pocket and now this first collection, I am very much looking forward to the second and third helping we are getting in a couple of months' time. Did you guys pick up this cart, or are you thinking about it? If so, what are your thoughts? Did you disagree with my ranking? I'm sure you did. Where would you rank each title? As usual, my friends, let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it here to the end of the episode, thank you ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you like. But you know what? I'm just chuffed you picked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope the day has been as awesome as you are, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.